Zach, preparation this week, talk a little bit about your progression as a quarterback since you became the starter a couple of games ago. Are you feeling more comfortable? Not that you didn't know the system before, but now you're getting more reps in practice.
Oh, yeah, I feel like coach is really if I mess up one time during practice, it's, get it, Zach, get it going. Our whole offense, if we mess up, the whole offense is going to do it over again until we get it right, because we got to have perfection if we want to win, and that's with anything. You have to have perfection. But, if I mess up and I try not to, it's, again, just repping it again and again and again until I get it right, until the whole offense gets it right.
From the standpoint last week, I know the team had a hard time running the football, and does that put a little more pressure on you as a quarterback when the running game isn't exactly where it needs to be, and then everybody's looking at you thinking, well, what can we do in the passing attack as well?
No, that doesn't put any pressure on me at all. That kind of, I kind of thrive on pressure, you know what I mean? So, like, that's my high point. That's when I like to have fun, you know what I mean? When throwing the ball is fun, you know what I mean? So, like, I love to pass every single down of the game, but you need the run game, I know that it's probably didn't work as much, last week, but this is two different teams, you know what I mean? That was a great team. That's a really good team. Not to, that's a good team. We all know that. But I'm not saying Anderson's a bad team, but we know which team's better. It really comes to, we got a couple new guys on the offensive line. We got Branton Thomas, and Blaine Pierce will not be playing this week due to an injury. Hopefully get him back next week. So we got Clayton Raper at center. But I have all faith in my O-line, not doubting any one of them. But yeah, Anderson's a good team. We're a good team. When we do what we can do, then we're a good team, So.
And that's what I want to ask you is about the consistency. Is when you guys do look good, it looks great, but there are other times when it doesn't happen and it looks really bad at times. Where do you find the consistency, not only in this offense, but the defense as well?
That's tough. Like I said in practice, you have to have consistency when you do just basically practice. When you're doing everything over and over again, you have to find consistency when you it's more like consistency is when you are down. It's kind of like adversity. That's the something I can tie those within is adversity and consistency, because if you go through adversity, then you have that that stuff build up where you can do this, you got this, you know what I mean? Like that game was adversity, and we had adversity throughout the game, and then at the very end, consistency. We kept running the same play over and over again until everybody, like we do in practice, until everybody started going with the flow and getting it right, and we scored on one of the really good teams in 6A. So.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, from that standpoint, when you mentioned the passing attack, would you like to see you guys throw a little bit more and utilize your arm that we saw in a couple of games ago?
Oh yeah, and that's what we're going to do this week. They play a lot of cover threes, so we're going to do a lot of short game this week. So one of the best quarterbacks to play at Richmond, who has the all-time passing record, all he did was screens, short ones, short hitches, slants. That's all he did, and then his receivers would do what they need to do. And we have a really good receiving core. If we can throw, I know I can prove myself, and to show them that we can throw. So as soon as they know that we can throw, I think they're going to be a lot more throwing, deep, short. I think it'll be good this week.
Hey, and of course the tournament draw comes up this week. Before we even consider that, let me ask you from the standpoint, in these last two games, what does this football team need to do overall to be ready for that tournament?
Honestly, I think that we just need to be in the right mind, honestly, because, going into Lafayette Jeff, this is Lafayette Jeff. I'm not going to lie to you. This is Lafayette Jeff. We're playing Lafayette Jeff. McCutcheon, we just got to be in the right mindset, honestly. We have a good team. We have a good team at Richmond. This is a pretty good team. And I think that the teams we play in the sectional, when we draw the teams that we play, I think we'll have a really good chance. We just have to have the right mindset and not go in there say we draw a really good team thinking, oh crap, we're going to lose, or we draw a really bad team thinking, oh, we're about to smack these guys, because anything can happen on a given day. Anybody can beat anybody else, and we just have to have the right mindset, execute, and get everything done.
You mentioned Anderson already. Talk about, again, with their defense, you mentioned the way that they play against you. Do you expect them to come after you a little bit more, knowing that this is only going to be your third start this year from a defensive standpoint? You see more blitzes, or have they shown anything like that at all?
when I watch film against Arsenal Tech, they have two defensive tackles that are okay. I mean, they're not very fast, but they're big. So I feel like they're going to come. So they have a speed end, which means he comes upfield really fast. But I have trust in my tackles to get him out. And I mean, I can step up in the pocket and escape. I'm like 95% sure they'll bring blitzes because they know I can throw. But that's why we're doing short game. That's why we're throwing hitches and slants, because I won't have a chance to get hit. And if they do hit me after I throw it, let's go 15 yards. You know what I mean? So, and that's what we're doing this week, short game, and then they're going to bring their corners play 10 yards back. They're going to bring their corners up, and then we're going to hit them with a shot downfield. And they got one person to cover that, and that's their safety. So, and I got trust in my receivers that they're going to beat a safety who's 20 yards away, So.
Yeah, I got to ask you one last thing. You did take some shots last week. How do you feel physically right now?
Oh, I feel good, baby. Hey, it's football. This is a tough game, you know what I mean? So you're not gonna play quarterback and not take shots, you know what I mean? But Wyatt Bird's playing this week, and he took shots every single, and that just shows you how tough people are. Not saying I'm tough, but Wyatt, and I feel like the rest of our team is really tough, and that we are we are like right now we are so close with each other and bonding with each other right now that it's like immense right now that we're our performance right now is like great. I mean, I'm not getting any pressure. I mean, really, if you think about it, I didn't really get any pressure when I was throwing. I didn't get that much pressure. I got some, just because it took so long to throw, but that's why we throw short game this week. We had really good pass protection last week, and that was against Lafayette Jeff, so I know I'm going to have great pass protection with my O-line this week.